Orioles to being an Uber driver, a substitute teacher, independent baseball, and now he's going behind the plate at Yankee Stadium for his first big league start. What a story it is for J.C. Escarra, and he is warming up Carlos Carrasco for the start of this game. Let's take a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks starting lineup. Corbin Carroll in right, Geraldo Perdomo, the shortstop, Pavin Smith at first, cleaning up the DH Josh Naylor. Left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Eugenio Suarez. Alec Thomas in center. Garrett Hampson, the second baseman, will bat eighth. And batting ninth and catching, it's Jose Herrera. And there's Carrasco, what he did last year with the Guardians. 21 starts, 3-10, 5.64. The numbers are not that great. This year he's pitched 2 innings of relief for the Yankees. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report, Paul.
Well, the numbers in spring training were really good, and that's how he earned his spot. 1.69 ERA in the 5 games, and obviously with all the injuries, they needed his help. Go ahead, Michael. I can't do this.
Carroll's ready. Carrasco's ready, and let's do it.
Now I can finish.
There you go.
The game's official, all right? Sweet 16, yeah, it's not the NCAA, but believe it or not, this is his 16th Major League season. And boy, is he easy to root for, although he is 5 years away from his best year in his Major League career.
You mentioned he's been around a long time, 16th year, but when he came out and pitched in relief on Saturday, he said he was really, really nervous.
Yeah, it'll probably help him, man. I just want to finish up on that. Easy to root for. I mean, he's a cancer survivor. He's won the Roberto Clemente Award back in 2019. Just a likable guy that's had a really long career.
Bleacher creatures doing their thing in the background.
It's funny, Michael, you said he was actually nervous. This is his 278th start. But he's with the New York Yankees now, and that's what happens, right?
As they say, the pinstripes sometimes are heavy. As he strikes out Corbin Carroll to start the first inning. Take a look at the Yankee defense behind Carrasco. Dominguez, Grisham, and Bellinger left to right. In the infield, Cabrera, Volpe, Chisholm, and Ben Rice getting the start at first. Aaron Judge is playing. He's the DH. We told you about J.C. Escarra behind the plate catching Carrasco. Here's Perdomo. Now, Carrasco's nickname is Cookie. So it has to be something really deep and clever, you would think. Well, when he was with Cleveland, his teammate, Chris Perez, in 2011, actually saw Carrasco sitting at the table in the food room eating a cookie, and therein the nickname was born. Pretty deep.
I'm just calling you pizza then. Every time I look over there, you got a slice in your hand, right?
I like it.
There's only one Cookie in my mind, though. That's Stevie Donahue.
That's right.
We called him Cookie. I don't know. Stevie, if you're listening, give me I don't even know how it started. I guarantee he wasn't just sitting there eating a cookie. Somebody called him Cookie, but
it might be as simple as that.
Who knows?
2-1 on Perdomo. So Carrasco signed with the Yankees a minor league deal on February 3rd, and at the time you wondered, well, why are they doing that? Well, you're always looking for pitching depth, but the onslaught of injuries to the rotation, all of a sudden he's your 5th starter.
Yeah, he signed all the way back in 2003 with Philadelphia and never made it to the major leagues with them. He was part of the Cliff Lee trade. But boy, he was solid for the Guardians. Then he went to the Mets, struggled, back to the Guardians. Knows how to pitch. I think it's a great thing by Aaron Boone that you've got a veteran pitcher out there where J.C. Escarra can just kind of let him call his own game. I mean, he's been around long enough to figure it out.
Carrasco went to the Mets along with Francisco Lindor. That was in that deal, the blockbuster in January of 2021.
You see kind of a break for Carrasco tonight. Marte out of the lineup tonight. This was a day off, and he's a big part of their offense.
Popped up, Cabrera in foul territory, giving it a run, and he makes the play. Pretty play by Oswaldo Cabrera covering a lot of ground.
I was going to say, Michael, you really can't tell by watching television, but you know, he went a long way to get to this ball, and if you take a bad route, you're not going to get there. A really, really good play by Cabrera.
There's Pavin Smith. Home plate umpire is Rob Drake, and he is considered very pitcher friendly. More outside strikes, more low strikes on righty batters, and Rob in his 27th season. So 0-2.
Rob and I overlapped.
Yeah, absolutely. Some Paul O'Neill magic he experienced. Game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. 71 degrees, feels like 68. There's a 90% chance of rain, humidity 85%. The wind is blowing out to left. What a difference a night makes.
Oh. It's really amazing because I woke up today, it's freezing. It was still cold, and as the day went on, warmer, warmer, and I think it's warmer now than it was at high noon today.
It's amazing. It was so cold here last night, but a beautiful evening in the Bronx. Just missed. Good changeup. Diamondbacks 4-2 on the season. They split a 4-game set with the Cubs, and they've taken the first 2 of this series. The Yankees are 3-2. Well, Paul, it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, first course, it's Rice. He's a leadoff hitter playing first base, and times have changed. I mean, the first series, the Yankees on fire offensively. The last 2 nights, 30 strikeouts. So they got to figure that one out. And a happy flight. I mean, you salvage this game tonight. You win. You have a 4-2 homestand before you go on the road. Nothing like it. Heading to Pittsburgh and Detroit.
Strike 3. Strong inning for Carlos Carrasco. Diamondbacks go down in order, and the Yankees are coming to bat. We have a new leadoff hitter tonight. That's Ben Rice. He's getting ready to face Merrill Kelly. So Ben Rice at first leads off. Cody Bellinger in right. Aaron Judge, the DH. Cleaning up the second baseman, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Jason Dominguez in left field will bat 5th. Batting 6th, the power-hitting shortstop with 4 home runs, Anthony Volpe. Trent Grisham in center field. J.C. Escara will catch. Oswaldo Cabrera plays third base. He's going to bat 9th. And they're going to face Merrill Kelly. Last season, injured, so he pitched just 13 times, 5-1, 4.03. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, he's trying to bounce back from that injury, Michael. He was really good in 2022 and 23, but last year, as you said, with the injury, he had a shoulder strain that kept him out for 4 months. Changeup, yeah, his changeup is the pitch that really is impressive. Hitters since 2023 only hit 156 against it. A good trio. He's had 3 starts against the Yankees, 2 runs or fewer in all of them.
Ben Rice swings at the first pitch. Hits it to center field. Backing up is Thomas. Still going back. And he's going to be over his head and bounce into Monument Park. It's a double for Rice.
The ball's hit fairly good, just dead center field, but it is twilight, and you can tell this ball was lost for just an instant as he goes back. Thomas, you see, lost it, and then all of a sudden you recover, and you just can't catch up. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I got it. Oh, it's too far. I'm not going to get it. Good break for the Yankees.
And he's a good defensive center fielder, too. So Rice with a double. Now his average in the young season, .429. There's Cody Bellinger. Yankees hoping to make a little more contact than they have been the last 2 days. 14 strikeouts Tuesday, 15 strikeouts last night. And the top 4 batters in the last 2 games, 3 for 31 with an .097 slug. 2-1.
Last key to Merrill, I said a good trio. He's had 3 good starts against the Yankees, but if you put it together, if he can bounce back to where he was, it's a pretty good trio that the Diamondbacks have with Burns and Gallen, who really shut the Yankees down game 1 and game 2 of the series.
Well, Paul told you about the struggles that Kelly had last year with the teres major strain in the right shoulder. But despite that, the Diamondbacks still picked up a $7 million team option for this season. And why not? To get a pitcher of that level for just $7 million, it just doesn't happen anymore. He'll be a free agent at the end of the season. He's 36 years old.
Michael, you know, I throw my notes into the trash can, right, and Audrey rebounds for me. I just tried a hook shot. I didn't even hit the wall. It wasn't even close.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to rebound.
My skills they're not good. It was an alley-oop, Audrey. You were supposed to catch it in the air.
The payoff, way inside, and Bellinger walks. Here's the Diamondbacks defense tonight. Gurriel Jr. in left. Thomas you saw in center. Corbin Carroll is over and right. Infield, Suarez, Perdomo, Hampson, and Smith, third to first. Herrera behind the plate. Josh Naylor, the DH, and Kelly's on the mound. Yankees have first and second. Nobody out, and here's Aaron Judge.
Well, an ideal situation for Aaron Judge. Then on first and second, as a pitcher, you know, early in the game, nobody out. Really nothing to do other than just try to make good pitches and hope to keep him in the ballpark.
499 career extra base hits for Judge. And for Judge, this is his 999th career game.
That's really amazing when you add it up, because we've been calling games together, and you know, we talked about it the other day. 10 years in the league, including the year that he broke in. I mean, time flies, right?
Mm-hmm. Driven out to right center field and deep. There it goes. See ya. His 500th extra base hit. His 5th home run of the year, and a 3-0 Yankee lead.
Well, Michael, when Ben Rice and Cody Bellinger get on, you really can't pitch around the big fella, and that's what happens. I mean, what a perfect swing. Take the ball the other way. Everybody in the ballpark knew where it was going. The funny thing was, I was watching Ben Rice, like, he took off like he had to score on a single. I'm like, but you know who just hit that ball?
Chisholm takes outside. 5 homers and 14 ribbies for Judge. And you saw the graphic, 3rd fastest in Yankee history to get to 500 extra base hits. 1 game shy of his 1,000th game, and here's how it happened.
Ball away. I mean, he is so strong. The right center field is so reachable. Just a line drive into the bullpen.
And a push bunt. They have the shift on. Let's take a look at Rice's dart to third.
Yeah, you got to know who hits this ball. You going to tag up? What are you going to tag up? The fan going to throw you out? Wow, he sprint. All right, I forgot Aaron Judge did it. Even in slow motion, that looks good, doesn't it?
Grounded second base. Hampson gets the hustling Chisholm for the first out. Boy, you like to see that.
Yeah. Again, a four-seam fastball just on the outside corner. But just, I mean, Aaron Judge is so big that he has no problem reaching the outside corner. And in Yankee Stadium, no need to pull it or anywhere for him. I mean, he could hit any part of the ballpark.
Dominguez, a single through the left side. So Kelly, early struggles.
Again, every time you see him put a good swing on a ball and get a base hit and something positive, it's just going to help him. You've got to build him up. You know, he's came up, he took off, and he's had injuries, and he struggled. This is his really big chance of playing every day, and if you can build the confidence up him to get him playing like he did in the minor leagues, now you found something.
Here's Volpe, 3-run home run in the 9th inning last night. And the first base up, Jansen Visconti said he did not hold up. So that's strike one. Runner goes. High fly ball, right center. Thomas on the run. Makes the play on the track as Dominguez retreats.
That's another part of the game of Dominguez. He was in motion. I mean, he can steal some bases in the short time that he was here. Had 5 stolen bases last year.
Now, we told you about Judge getting his 500th extra base hit. 3rd quickest Yankee, did it 999 games. I don't know if you know the first 2 older names. Joe DiMaggio did it in 853 games. Lou Gehrig in 869.
Well, I'm sure Babe Ruth's up there somewhere.
No.
Really?
Nope.
Babe must not have hit a lot of doubles.
Driven into left center field and deep. That ball is going to be in there over the grab of Gurriel. So Grisham with an RBI double as Dominguez streaks home with the Yankees' 4th run.
Well, Gurriel, pretty solid left fielder, and the ball just kind of beat him out there off the end of his glove, and Dominguez hustling all the way, easily scores. But boy, you've seen better swings from the Yankee hitters so far tonight in the 1st inning than you have in the past 2 games.
The pitching coach Brian Kaplan comes out and talks with Kelly. And here's J.C. Escar. You see what he did in spring training to earn a spot on the roster. He's 29 years old. Former 15th round draft pick by the Orioles in 2017. He released by the Orioles in 2022. He played independent ball in Mexico and Puerto Rico. Won the Dominican League batting title this past winter with a .363 average. And while he was trying to make ends meet, he drove an Uber and he was a substitute teacher. A nice story. A story of perseverance. One and 0. You know, when Meredith had the interview with him on our open, and then she showed the video of when Aaron Boone told him he made the team, which was very
throw late in the game.
And then the Yankees video JC calling his mom, and she just went bananas, and she was crying, and then he was trying to hold back the tears, and in the video you could see a a tear fall off the end of his nose. It was very, very emotional. Popped up. Suarez makes the play in fair territory for the final out. Yankees with a 4 spot, but 3 of them on this one swing. Aaron Judge with his 5th home run of the year. Yankees lead 4-0. FanDuel's live same-game parlay.
Well, Dominguez already got a hit, so that's part of it. Huh?
That's part of it. So the Yankees give Carrasco a 4-0 lead as he heads to the second. And he'll face his former teammate, Josh Naylor. Do you think there's any coincidence, Paul, that after he made that costly throwing error at first, that he's been the DH the next 2 games?
Yeah, I think that, that this team they got to play good baseball. And part of their, being a good team is making the plays. They're a good defensive team. And, that should have cost them the game. It ended up not costing the game, but it should have.
So 3-0 on Naylor. And there's ball 4. Arizona, as we mentioned, is 4-2. But in the National League West, that's not good enough.
Wow.
The Dodgers are 8-0. The Padres are 7-0. The San Francisco Giants are 5-1.
Yeah, but even in these 2 games that you've seen, and we even talked about before, they're a good team. You can tell. They've got good guys in the bullpen. Their starting pitching's much improved. They've got some stars on the field. They just all kind of mix or match day in and day out with righties, lefties. They have speed. Just a lot of good things you watch on the field here.
Did he go? No, said Visconti. Gurriel with that big first inning home run against Rodon last night. Rodon struggled in the first 2 innings, gave him 2 and 2, but then really settled down and stuff came around as well. And because of that, the Yankees didn't have to burn out their bullpen. He gave them 6. And then Yoendris Gomez gave them 3. And that covered the 9. That's popped up. Rice gives it a look. And a great catch by a fan. Happened to be in the area. Coming in, Grisham. Going out is Volpe, and Volpe makes the play.
You know, there's an old saying, Michael, there's always some place to be on a baseball field, on a hit ball. And if you watch, if this ball drops, Carrasco had run to second base because both the second baseman and the shortstop are out trying to make this play. So to just stand out there and not go anywhere, there's somewhere to be.
Here's Eugenio Suarez with the grand slam in the first game of this series, and that one is line and over the leaping try of Cabrera and down in left field. Backing up to the warning track is Dominguez. He fires to second, but Suarez there with a double. Moving to third is Naylor.
A little breaking ball that didn't have much bite, and Suarez has been hot with the home runs, especially line down to left field. And if you go through your head on this play, if you're Dominguez, you know, you make sure you catch the ball. Naylor doesn't have good speed, but it's got to be pointed out that, you know, you're throwing the ball to third base. You're hitting the cutoff man. You've got no chance of throwing out the base runner at second base. You don't want a fast runner, which Naylor is not, to round third base and score on you because you threw the wrong base.
Yankees play the infield back. Chisholm throws out Thomas. Scoring is Naylor. Moving to third is Suarez. Diamondbacks get a run back. It's 4-1. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Hampson. Oh, and 1. Oh, and 2.
If you're a Scar here, you got to remember now, Carrasco's going to try to get a swing and a miss, and sometimes that ends up being a slider or something in the dirt. Man on third base, don't worry about catches. Just make sure that you block it. Don't give them a run here with 2 outs.
One and 2. Jose Herrera is on deck. Strike 3. Third strikeout for Carrasco. Diamondbacks get a run. They lead 1. We go to the bottom of the second. Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees, by PNC Bank. Season start presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. By the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. And by Optimum Fiber. Get Optimum, the fastest fiber internet. Don't take slow for an answer. 4-1 Yankees. We go to the bottom of the second. 9-1-2 in the Yankee order. Oswaldo Cabrera fouls it back. Rough first inning for Merrill Kelly. A 3-run home run by Judge, an RBI double by Grisham. That one's popped up. Perdomo makes the call on the catch. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand, plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. There's Ben Rice. You know, sometimes we think the game is so complicated because of all the analytics and things like that. And
there you go. That's not so complicated.
There you
just
go.
Cross somebody out and put somebody in.
That's why you shouldn't have names on the back of the jersey.
There you go.
22 is always 22. But Aaron Boone was asked by Meredith today, you know, why Rice is the leadoff batter. He said he rakes.
Simple enough answer.
Yeah.
Michael, I thought he was going to give some type of a detailed description as to why they decided to go in that direction. He just looked at me and smiled and said that. I was like, okay, all right. They're hoping they rake today in general as a team. So far, so good.
Well, he raked in the first inning with a double over the head of Thomas.
Fortune along with left. It'll be third down at about 3. The ball is at the Los Angeles.
2-2.
I think Ben Rice has shown that he can catch up with the fastball. You saw him take puck in the second deck. Hard throwing lefty, and they caught up to another fastball. But it's just now you're going to have to see how he adjusts to the breaking ball.
Let's take a look at the exit velocity presented by Spectrum, and these are the hits that Ben Rice has. And that's the one thing that really caught the Yankees' attention in spring training. He's always hit the ball hard, but much harder this year. And he also has always had a good eye, works a walk.
Leadoff hitters are supposed to do, right?
Rakes.
Rake,
yeah.
And take walks.
Cody Bellinger walked in the first inning. Big cut. I think he got the catcher on the backswing.
It's amazing how just the follow through with that hardwood bat catches it on the back of the hand. Causing a lot of pain for catchers. Well, so much of it is about bat speed. He's got bat speed. He really puts everything to every swing. Diving back is Rice. Ben Rice didn't steal a base last year, but he is a leadoff hitter.
And now Kelly has both of his throws out of the way.
Well, we'll get a big lead here.
Tipped into the glove of Herrera. And Bellinger is down on strikes. Time for Coors Light beating the pressure. Fewest games to 500 career extra base hits. Aaron Judge did it in 999 games. Good start to a season, 5 home runs, 14 ribbies. And that home run in the first inning was his 320th career home run. Remember, because he went to college, he started late. And then his first year, when he broke in, he got injured, so he didn't play that much in 2016. Then won the Rookie of the Year in 2017 while hitting 52 home runs. How about having those 3 numbers on the back of your baseball card? 52 home runs, 58 home runs, 62 home runs.
Yeah, unbelievable, really. You know, you just wondered when he showed up, is his power, you know it's there, but is he going to be able to command the strike zone enough to hit 62 home runs? Because you're going to start getting pitched around. And that's the biggest difference I see in Aaron Judge today and when he stepped foot in the major leagues.
High fly ball, right field. Corbin Carroll puts it away, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Let's go to the 3rd.
Strikes, and that's what he needs, and he can kind of expand a little bit.
Here's Carroll, struck out looking in the first inning. .78-mile-an-hour slider, 0-1. Fly ball shallow left field. Volpe's backing up and makes the play in front of Dominguez. You know, you played with a pretty good shortstop that went back on the ball in the outfield very well.
Yeah, one of the better ones I've seen. The best I ever saw was Ozzie Smith. He went back on the ball better and caught it over his shoulder. But Derek Jeter was really, really good at that play.
You guys are together forever out there.
Look at that.
And we talked about it being the anniversary of his first start at shortstop in an opening day game. And he made one of those catches against the then Indians at the ballpark to open up the series, and also had a home run.
Well, Dennis Martinez, I do remember that day.
One and one. Two-one on Perdomo. Just clips the inside corner, 2-2.
Well, this at bat, it's been soft away, and then that hard two-seamer in. And let's go back away with something off speed.
Swing and a miss. Change up. That is the 4th strikeout for Carrasco. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. But you do miss your spot.
Yeah, obviously, and you know, hitters do adjust to put the barrel on the bat to an outside pitch, but you know, there is a lot to be, you know, talked about, and it's not a new thing. The bat's been around for a while, so obviously it looks good to some guys. And if you arguably the 2 best hitters in the American League and National League, you got Ohtani and Judge. Neither of them use the bat, so I mean, it's not for everyone.
And also, just because you have a torpedo bat doesn't mean that it's been vetted enough by your front office where should the extra wood be? Where does each hitter? I mean, the bat should be specifically designed for the specific hitter. You just don't say, okay, we're going to have a fat barrel and it's going to work.
And if you look at other sports, and I think baseball was somewhat behind on the analytics because golf had, you know, swing or speeds and spin rates and all these things. And also golf clubs are so personalized, even more so than bats. And believe me, bats are personalized.
Deep to right field. Carroll back on the track at the wall. See ya. Home run, Grisham. A 2-run blast, and the Yankees lead 6-1.
Well, the balls are flying again tonight, Michael. I think the Yankees is like warm weather. Anytime you get a spot start, and Grisham is a phenomenal defensive player. Offensively, if you get some things from him, it's really going to help.
Here's Escara. Looking for his first big league hit.
Yeah, that's just a belt high fastball right down the middle. A major league hitter, you don't miss that very often.
0-2.
Four-seam fastball, little movement. You got to hit your spot with that pitch.
Fly ball, shallow right, coming on Carroll. And he's there. 2-run home run by Grisham. 6-1 Yankee lead. Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard 6-1 Yankees over the Diamondbacks. 4 home runs for Anthony Volpe, and he is one of the guys that uses the torpedo bat, and we got a hold of one. And Paul, you have one.
I mean, the first thing you want in a bat is that it looks good to you. And if you look at this bat, the barrel is so large in here where the sweet spot is. It looks good and it feels good. It balances out a little bit. The one difference you'll see is how thin it is at the end. And my question was, you know, if you hit a ball off the end of the bat, is it still going to play the same? But we just saw that Anthony Volpe did. He hit a ball off the end of the bat, and it did. Now, this wood at the end of the bat has been moved down towards the barrel. And again, when I talk to some of the players, it just feels much more balanced. This is a maple bat, which pretty much all bats are. I talked to Chuck Shupp today, who really, you see Volpe hit it off the end of the bat, was still able to get a base hit. But Chuck Shupp was with Louisville Slugger when I played. He's been in the line of making bats his whole life. He said, talk to me at the All-Star break if it makes that big of a difference, because you know what, obviously if you hit it in the right spot, I don't care if you got a torpedo bat or not, it's going to carry. You do have a little more wood right in this area, more right in the barrel, and less here. So you wonder if the handle is going to take the pressure because there's a little more wood here. So there's a few things that are really questions to be answered. But I tell you what, as a player, the first thing you notice is it's very balanced and it's got a nice barrel that just looks like it wants to hit. Let's see if it works. Go on ahead.
Now, the interesting thing is, there is a little bit more by the label, so people do get jammed every now and then. That's usually not a great thing for a hitter. The bat usually breaks, but most of it's in the sweet spot, but some of it is here.
Well, it's depending on the player, and that's why it's so personalized. You might have a little bit more towards the end, or if you see a player fouling the ball off time and time again, and that's where the knowledge of the Yankees have really, figured out certain players hit the ball here a lot, so you move some of the wood down that way. But you know what? They've been changing bats for hundreds of years. Ash bats are really not even in existence anymore. So that is a torpedo bat that you hear about. This is an actual bat from one of the Yankees. We won't say who, but let's do this again at the All-Star break.
You would do it if the technology existed? Would you have a bat like this?
I absolutely would, because I used to use a bat with a large barrel, and just looking at this bat is very comfortable to me. And some bats are so tapered towards the end that it just didn't look like you had a good sweet spot. I've always said Bernie Williams had the ugliest bat I've ever seen in my life. I said, Bernie, how good a hitter you'd be if you use a regular bat. All the wood was at the end of the bat, which made no sense to me. But this bat, to me, looks like, you're going to hit the ball hard.
Josh Naylor hits one hard up the middle for a base hit. Moving to third is Pavin Smith after he led off the inning with a walk. So first and third for the Diamondbacks, nobody out.
Ball right back up the middle. Carrasco wanted to keep it on the ground. He did. It just seemed to find a hole somehow, some way. It wasn't hit hard.
People put so much thought into choosing their bat.
Oh, yes.
And I heard a story the other day. I was talking to Tom Verducci of SI and Fox Sports, and he was on my radio show. And he said before he got drafted by the Yankees, Derek Jeter never used a wood bat.
Right.
Ever. And he goes down to camp as an 18-year-old, doesn't have a bat, sees a bunch of bats line up against the batting cage, grab one.
Yeah.
Hit with it, and he used that bat his entire career, that model.
Yeah, well, like I said, once the most important thing as a hitter is, and there's hundreds of different models. Fat handles, thin handles, big barrel, light. You have to be comfortable at what you look at day in and day out. And I would say that the majority of players, like your story, use basically the same bat their whole career. I used a bat in Cincinnati, and then I used a bat with the Yankees. Never changed away, never changed from it.
Hit sharply and inside third and down the left field line. Smith will score. Digging it out of the corner is Dominguez. Naylor stops at third. It's an RBI double for Gurriel, and it's 6-2 Yanks.
The Diamondbacks just keep trying to claw back closer and closer. Carrasco trying to keep the ball down. And these breaking balls are kind of hanging up in the strike zone. Good swing on it. Line down the left field line. And you can tell by that bat right there as it goes through the zone, most of the wood towards the end of the bat. That's a traditional bat.
It's so unusual that this has kind of been the talk of baseball.
Yeah.
And it was because of us talking about it on Saturday and then the Yankees having the 9 home runs. But this has been used in baseball by players for the last 2 years. And I found this fascinating, Paul. Last year, Giancarlo Stanton had one of the great postseasons that you'll ever see. He won the American League MVP for the championship series using a torpedo bat. That one's popped up off the bat of Suarez. And I asked somebody in the know, I said, okay, so this guy's owning October in the biggest games. How could nobody have seen it or asked about it? And it was as simple as this. The guy told me, because it was a black bat. And you can't tell.
You don't know.
Night games and a black bat, you just don't notice it.
I mean, there's so many things that have come, even since I play. I mean, there's a handle now that resembles an axe handle, which I really would have loved, because I always worried about my top hand staying on top of the ball. And with the handle, you know, kind of sanded like an axe, you're almost chopping it. It reminds you by just holding the bat. I mean, changes years ago of the ash bat, which you really can't get anymore, to maple. First player to do that, Barry Bonds. He brought maple into the game. So it's a little bit lighter, a little bit harder wood. But then Major League Baseball had to do a lot of things, because those bats, if you didn't hit them on the sweet spot, they would just explode. And you know, so I'm sure that these are going to be tinkered with. It's not the last time you're going to see a different model or a different type. But the same team, I'm talking about the Yankees, that hit all the home runs in the first 3 games, struck out 30 times in the next 2. So you still have to be a talented major league hitter to make any bat work.
Naylor at third, Gurriel at second. 6-2 Yankees, nobody out. Yankees play the infield back. You know, I've been to the Hall of Fame and lucky enough to get one of the, you know, back of the hall tours, and you have to put on the white gloves. And, you know, I hold Babe Ruth's bat, and it was like a tree trunk. It wasn't even contoured. So bats have changed over the years.
Absolutely. I mean, there's regulations. They can only go up so many ounces. They can only be so long. And that's the thing with these bats. They're all legal.
Great change up there to strike out the dangerous Suarez.
You know, I got a little overzealous up here about hit James in the head. I wouldn't have had a stat the rest of the year if I took James out.
So one down here is Alec Thomas. And a strike.
Carrasco really fought and got that big out against Suarez. Now he's got Thomas up there, still trying to save runs. Keep New York ahead here in this game.
Skied the other way down the left field line, but foul, just foul. That really hugged the line. It didn't slice as much as it normally would coming off a left-hander's bat.
Well, Carrasco not a strikeout pitcher, so you know you're almost trying to set up a pitch here, maybe bust him in so you can go away to try to get a strikeout.
The last time up, Thomas put the ball in play with the infield back just like now and picked up an RBI. He does the same thing again. So Chisholm gets him at first, scoring easily as Naylor. Gurriel moves to third. And now the Yankees lead is 6-3.
They tried to get a strikeout with a breaking ball before then, but it just, you know, this is what Arizona does. And we've talked about it. They led the league last year, or led all of baseball with runs, and that's how you do it. You get guys in with third base with 2 outs. You put the ball in play. You don't have big strikeouts when you need contact, and that's the type of team that they are.
Hampson up the middle, but right there, Chisholm, and he makes the play for the final out. But the Diamondbacks get closer. They score 2. The New York Yankee Foundation's 50-50 raffle is now open during every home game at Yankee Stadium. One lucky fan wins half the pot, and the other half is donated to the New York Yankees Foundation. Buy your tickets now at Yankees.com/5050. 9-1-2 in the Yankee order. Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard 6-3 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and there's a strike to Oswaldo Cabrera. They really play Cabrera to pull in the infield. The shortstop, Perdomo, is about as far as you can go without breaking the rule. He's right next to being directly behind second base. Now he moves a couple steps to his right with 2 strikes. 1-2. Third baseline is wide open. Fouled away. Ben Rice on deck. Double in the walk so far tonight as the Yankee leadoff batter. Two and two on Cabrera. Strike 3. Cabrera down looking. Ben Rice coming up, and we take a look at the leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. This season in 6 games, it's a great start for Ben. 429, 2 homers, 2 ribbies, slugging at 1, OPS of 1.5. You know, the old saying in baseball, somebody gets hurt, it's an opportunity for somebody else. So if Stan wasn't hurt, Rice would not be getting this time. So this is a chance for Rice to grab a significant part of a job. They'll make room for him somewhere. And Boone said just because he's playing first and he's been DHing, he's been working a lot behind the scenes with Tanner Swanson. He continues to be a catcher. He said, we'll get him back there. We will get him back there. Because a catcher that can hit like that is pretty valuable.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, catching has become a position that's all labeled by framing and blocking balls and things like that, where, you know, in the old days, catchers, you know, Johnny Bench, guys like that, they were a huge part of your offense, too. Thurman Munson.
Mike Piazza.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a little bit of a disadvantage because, you know, before the DH with Mike Piazza, you can't catch him every day, but you need his bat in the lineup every day. They tried him at first, and that didn't go well. So 3-2 on Rice. And he walks. Took a very close pitch. Walks for the second time.
You can kind of tell by the hesitation of a hitter whether he's kind of unsure that that's ball 4 or not. I mean, you start to walk to first base, but you just are listening at the same time.
Bellinger has walked and struck out, also scored a run. You know, when Rice is at first, playing first, and as he's on first, sometimes he startles the opponent because he speaks fluent Spanish.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. And like they look at him, and he just speaks the language beautifully. And when he does that, his nickname is Ben Arroz.
Arroz, I was going to say, he speaks Spanish. That's what it's got to be, right?
For those that don't know, rice in Spanish is arroz.
I don't know. That's one of the 10 words I know in Spanish.
There you go. Don't worry, I took 8 years. I don't know that many more.
Say hi, goodbye.
And mi amo. 2-1. 3-1 on Bellinger, and Judge is on deck.
Such a big pitch, because if he walks Bellinger, then he's in the same position with Aaron Judge with a man on first and second, which gives you very little wiggle room to try to get through the lineup. Pitch to him.
Runner goes, and it's a strike. They don't throw through. So Rice with a stolen base.
Well, that's old school, and I love it too. When you see the guy on first base running, give him an opportunity to steal that base. That's his first career stolen base. But unless you've got 2 strikes and you hear runners going, don't pull the trigger. Give him a shot.
So you would give yourself a second strike to give the guy?
All the time.
Really?
I would tell Jeter, I would tell Knobloch, you know, if you can get a base, go. I mean, it's much easier to hit a single than it is to drive in a guy from first base.
That one is ripped into center field, sinking, but Thomas with the catch.
One play leads to another. A good catch by Thomas, but now with first base open, you've got options with Aaron Judge, and that is a sinking line drive, and it was hit extremely hard.
Judge, a 3-run home run in the first, fly ball right in the second. So the home run in the first was his 500th career extra base hit, 19th in franchise history, 19th place. Next up, 18th place, Paul O'Neill with 503.
I got a good feeling he's going to catch, huh?
Great start for Judge. Up the middle and a base hit. Rounding third is Rice. He's coming home. The throw from Thomas is cut off. It's an RBI single for Judge, and the Yankees lead 7-3.
Well, Kelly tried to make perfect pitches instead of walking Aaron Judge and pitching around him with first base open. Got to round that ball. Tried to run a 2-seamer back to the outside corner. That's the second time that Aaron Judge has handled that ball from him away. Just a great piece of hitting. Another RBI for Aaron Judge.
Might have broken his bat, but he picks up a ribby, has 15 runs batted in. Does it make much sense to you, Paul, that they don't pitch around him? Why would you give him a pitch to hit? First base is open.
Again, you're probably trying to throw a 2-seamer that never gets back to the plate, but pitchers make mistakes, and it's just easier for me answering questions, as a pitcher or a manager. Aaron Judge off to the races. You can tell Marino not behind the plate tonight. Back up Herrera. Marino the best in the baseball, throwing out runners. Aaron Judge first of the year. But back to your point, Michael, we were always taught to just not let the best players beat you. Mm-hmm. You let Aaron Judge beat you right there.
I mean, when Aaron Judge is running from first to second like that, it must register on the Richter scale, right?
And he can run, too. You don't like to see him, try to steal 20 bases, which he easily could. I mean, he has the speed, but it just takes a lot of wear and tear on a big body like that. It's one thing, by getting Bellinger, I thought immediately when I saw that trade, that's going to put Aaron Judge back in right field, and that's going to take a lot of wear and tear of Aaron Judge trying to run center field day in and day out.
Two and two on Chisholm. 3-2. Dominguez on deck. Yankees lead 7-3. Deep to right field. Fair ball. It's gone. It is foul. Well, Herrera is taking a beating. Second time he's gotten hit. Yankees have 2 stolen bases against him.
Yeah.
Driven deep to right field. No doubt about it. A 2-run shot by Chisholm. It is 9-3 Yanks.
Jazz Chisholm, I mean, it's 4th of the year, and they've been no doubters. He's not the biggest of guys. Tremendous amount of bat speed and power. And that at bat to hook one foul and then crush one. The big Yankee home run and another big Yankee inning.
Dominguez hits one deep to left center field. That's got some ride to it. And that ball is up against the base of the wall. Dominguez gets himself a double. Second hit of the night.
Well, you look back before it, Jazz again, another fastball right down the middle of the plate. And they're not coming back tonight. The Yankees back to hitting them in the seats.
Rough outing for Merrill Kelly. Yankees as a team have 22 home runs. This is just game 6. That's a major league record, by the way, Paul.
Yeah, I think they cleared the game 6 level in game 4 or something, didn't they?
Yeah, when they set the game 4, it was also for 5 and 6, but now they're just showing off.
They're just pouring it on.
Yeah, just flexing. Merrill Kelly, good first outing, rough second outing. They'll go to the bullpen. Ryan Nelson will come on. It's time to name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. All right, 250, 271 home runs, 217 ribbies. Played for the Yankees in 01. Let's see. Angels, Blue Jays, Giants, Rockies.
Oh, my goodness.
This is
Michael,
a 10, by the way.
I got you. I got you tonight.
You got this.
I got you. One of the most unbelievable moments that happened in 2001, Michael. Think about that.
Okay. Ryan Nelson will come on. Started 25 games last year, working out of the bullpen. Volpe hits one the other way. Will it stay fair? No, it's a foul ball. How about this stat? So, with his RBI single, Judge has 15 runs batted in. He has more RBIs than the entire Rockies team have scored. They have 11 runs in 6 games. He has 15 RBIs. That's the entire Rocky team.
Yeah. And I mean, you can play that game with the home runs, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some teams with, 3 or 4 home runs as a team right now.
It's also more than the Braves. The Braves in 7 games have scored just 14 runs.
Pretty good team, too.
Not so far. Swing and a miss as Volpe down on strikes. While the Yankees add 3 more. 2 on this swing. Into the Bronx night. No chance for anyone with a fan. Time for pitching decisions presented by Sage. Carlos Carrasco through 4 has allowed 3 runs.
Yeah, he's really worked it. I mean, you see he's not overpowering. Sinker, slider, got a couple big outs. I'm sure Aaron Boone would love to see him get through this 5th inning and then hand it over to the bullpen. But got to be happy for what he's seen. He's at the point of his career now where, he's basically got to be perfect with pitches. If he makes mistakes, he's going to get hit. But he's a veteran pitcher that understands where he is in his career right now. One good thing, if you look at it, I mean, strike 1 is so important. 16 out of 18 first pitch strikes. So he has pitched ahead pretty much all night.
The Yankees are going to have an interesting decision because Aaron Boone said today that Clark Schmidt, if things progress as they continue to, is going to be back in the rotation either April 15th or April 16th. Schmidt's an important pitcher for them. So that means that Will Warren or Carlos Carrasco are going to have to go out of the rotation. Now, the disadvantage for Will Warren is he has options left. Fly ball center field. And that drops between Volpe and Grisham. Leadoff single for Herrera. So you can send Wilson down, not worry about losing him. You can't send Carrasco down without the threat of losing him. So even though Wilson might be pitching better, might be a guy with a higher upside, the options get you.
Right. I hope he did all he could. I mean, at a full sprint, Grisham could not get to it. Just off the end of the bat. No chance for either player.
A strike to Carroll. Ryan Yarbrough continues to throw in the Yankee pen. Carroll 0 for 2 against Carrasco. 1-2. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Ian Hamilton yesterday with AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. 1 inning, 2 hits, 14 pitches. Expected to return from the IL during the Tiger series. Grounded to first. Rice steps on the bag one. Throws to second. Double play. Nice play by Ben Rice.
You know, I was just thinking to myself, Michael, you know, here's Carroll. You want to keep the ball on the ground, but you probably can't double him up. A really solid play, the hardest double play that you could do as a first baseman, because then you have to make a throw without hitting a runner. Double play that way, that's a tough one. Good job.
Nice night for Rice so far. Here's Perdomo.
A lot of first basemen will come way in towards the catcher to make the throw to second base. You saw Rice, as he was throwing, kind of change his arm angle and throw it a little bit higher over Herrera. Now watch, he doesn't go sidearm. See, all of a sudden he gets at an angle where he can kind of get it over the top. Gives Volpe a decent throw to make a quick tag.
Right over the safety.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right. You know all the sports, don't you? Huh?
Fly ball. Grisham. That'll do it. No runs a hit. No one left. 5 strong by Carrasco. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official SUV of the Yankees. And by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Audi scoreboard, Yankees lead 9-3. Trent Grisham will lead off against Ryan Nelson. Ryan Nelson made some news as Torey Lovullo in one of the games against the Cubs ran out of position players. And Ryan Nelson always told him, I can hit. And he called him in to pinch hit. And he got an RBI single.
Yeah. I think he was an everyday player in college or something like that. But I don't think he's hit since college. So it's pretty impressive.
Fly ball, deep left. Gurriel makes the play. A long way. And Grisham with power the other way.
Well, Gurriel's been doing it for a lot of years out there. He runs this one down. And then playing that corner in Yankee Stadium's not so easy.
Here's Escaro. How badly does he want to get that first hit out of the way?
You know, it's obvious, any player, but even him with his story, you've got to get a few things under your belt before, you know, you get rid of the story and just try to have a major league career.
One and one on JC. Pop to third. Fly ball to medium range right. Grounded second base, Hampson. 2 down. So Merrill Kelly started for the Diamondbacks and he got roughed up. He had pitched well against the Cubs in his first start, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, but Yankees put a 9 spot on the board against him. 9 runs, 9 hits. Also served up 3 home runs. Warming up in the Yankee pen is Adam Ottavino. They might be saying, hey, we got 5 innings out of Carrasco. And
well, if you break down, you know, the Yankee philosophy, you know, most of your wins are going to incorporate the bullpen. So, you know, if you can get your starter, especially Carrasco, who's your 5th starter, through 5 with the lead, then, you know, especially if your bullpen's somewhat rested, you can start filing them in. Williams still on paternity leave, so there I would imagine that Weaver is your closer. You'd like to see Leiter get back in there to get the bad taste out of his mouth, and you know, then you go on the road. Obviously, we talked about it last night, Michael. A lot of games coming up, you know, without days off, so you're really going to have to watch the way you use this bullpen.
Pitch clock violation, and Nelson saying there's something with my pitch comm. I wasn't able to hear. And gets a new one.
But it's still a violation, right?
Yeah. Because if it wasn't, then you could fake it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, he has one that works now. Remember, I was looking at some grainy old film, and Christy Mathewson had the same problem one day.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, couldn't
pitch
hear.
con?
Yeah, couldn't hear. 1-1. 1-2.
You know, I'm so accustomed to like listen to my earbuds. I just wear earbuds out there. They don't go out, right?
If you could, would you worn earbuds in right field to listen to music?
You know what? I've seen players warm up. I would definitely would have worn them in batting practice and get loose and stuff like that. Yeah. Part of being on a major league field is listening to the crowd and feeling the crowd too. So that part of it during the game, you know, you want to be part of it. Whether even if you're on the road, you know, and you're getting booed, you know, you're getting booed for a reason because you're with the Yankees, and at that time we were good, right?
Yeah. High fly ball left field, Gurriel. And that'll do it as the Yankees go down in order. We go to the 6th inning. Yankees up by 6. Well, thank you, Bob. Let's go around the majors. Dodgers off to a great start. First defending champion to ever start the season 8-0. The Braves not too good, 0-7. And then that final note, Christian Campbell, after agreeing to an 8-year, $60 million extension with the Red Sox, has gotten off to an unbelievable start. Not too bad. Had a second home run of the year today against the O's.
I think Crochet signed an extension.
Yep.
Went out and pitched a gem too. I guess if you get an extension, you're a little happy with yourself, huh?
I hope our boss isn't listening. Fly ball left field off the bat of Smith, backing up Dominguez, and he makes the play.
Dominguez gets back on it, then he's kind of squares up to make it an easier play. But again, his defense has been talked about. He's taken good routes so far this homestand. I know at the end of the game he's been taken out, and sooner or later Aaron Boone is going to trust him where that gets out of his mind.
Here's Josh Naylor. Scored 2 runs, a walk and a single. Pitch outside, 1-0. Yankees lead 9-3. We're in the top of the 6th inning. There's a base hit to right field. Going to go into the corner. Digging it out is Bellinger. And Naylor.
Wow.
Just gets in. He's not too fast. And a pretty good arm by Bellinger made it really close.
Every once in a while as a right fielder, you just want to let one loose just to see, you know, if I do have a close play. Bellinger made a great throw. I didn't realize he had that kind of arm strength. That was a really good play.
Well, that looks like it is going to do it for Carrasco. He goes 5 1/3, and he leaves with a 6-run lead. His first Yankee start, the veteran, in his 16th season, 38 years old, does a decent job and leaves with the lead and gets a nice hand from a big crowd at the stadium. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Untuckit. Find the perfect pick today at untuckit.com or more than 80 stores worldwide. By Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop nissanusa.com. Adam Ottavino will come on for the Yankees. Runner at second with 1 out. Last year with the Mets, high ERA of 4.34, but more than a strikeout per inning. Time was called by Gurriel. So give me your thoughts on Carrasco.
Well, I thought he battled, and you see that he does not have overpowering stuff. He's smart. He got a big strikeout when he needed it. He got out of a couple of jams. And again, I think you saw how happy he was when he handed the ball to Brett Boone or Aaron Boone. That he gave him a good outing, a good chance for this team to win the game.
And when you sign February 3rd and you have to make the team in spring training and then you come out in front of a really large crowd at the stadium and you have a chance at a win, you have to feel good.
Well, you talked about his outing the other day.
Runner goes.
Wow.
Naylor is not a speedster, but people do run on Ottavino. Stolen base for Naylor, and you've got to make it when you're down 6.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, just a running lead right there. But again, down 6 runs. You're right. You better make sure. But now you're in scoring position with 1 out. An easy scoring position at third base. But back to your point, Michael, the other day he said he was nervous. He had that 2-inning stint, and he didn't pitch that well. He was much sharper tonight than he was first time he took the mound. What do you think of those drawers there, Michael?
A little they look like culottes.
Yeah.
Popped up, shallow right. Chisholm makes the catch, and he will hold Naylor at third. It's a nice play by Chisholm. Check out the bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Only Gomez pitched yesterday. That was important. So 6 innings from Rodon. Gomez the other 3, 43. And everybody's available today to get these outs in the final innings.
That's Yogo. Through 43 pitches.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I heard Aaron Boone call him.
Yogo. I like the BOGO. That's the buy one, get one free.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
There's Cookie.
Got a couple cookie stories today, and they all ended up with the same line. It's all meat and a cookie.
You know, I prefer Yogo to the old tire. Let's add a Y at the end of the guy's name, and that's his nickname.
Judgy just didn't do it.
Girardi did that all the time. I love Joe, but everything had a Y at the end of it. Judgy, Wellesley, come on. Yogo works.
Well, you got a Y at the end of your name.
Yeah, but you can't do it. What is it, K-E?
Yeah, that's right. Put an EY there.
Two and one on Eugenio Suarez.
Michael, we've kind of laughed, but I mean, Eugenio. Eugenio. How do you get that out of that?
I don't question it. I just try to find out what they like.
That's right.
Eugenio.
Suarez. Much easier.
I give you credit. You have assiduously avoided Eugenio.
Well, I mean, you can only butcher things so much before you just throw in the towel and just go to the last name, right?
You can make anything possible because you have a connection that's built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Matt Blake's going to come out and talk with Ottavino. Mark Leiter Jr. warming up.
You know what I meant to ask you today, Michael, and it surprised me. And you probably know because he's a good friend of yours. One of the biggest Yankee fans in the world is a partial owners of the D-backs.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. He actually had a World Series ring. Who's he rooting for when he's watching the D-backs and the Yankees?
You know what? Knowing Billy Crystal, he's probably secretly rooting Yankees. And he played for the Yankees, too. He got into bat in spring training.
Can't get anything by you, Michael. I thought I had one on there.
Pitch to Thomas is a strike. First and third, 2 men out. How about this, Paul? In Ottavino's career, 192 attempts of stolen bases. 171 successful, 89%.
Yeah, that's. I mean, at some point you just say, you know what? If you're going to steal, steal. You know, one of my closest friends with the Cincinnati Reds, unbelievable pitchers. I get texts from him all the time. Rob Dibble. You could run on him too, but you know the thing was you can't steal home.
Right.
Nobody could get a hit off of him either, so you couldn't steal home.
There goes Suarez. Swing and a miss. Can't steal home. And that'll do it. No runs a hit. 2 men left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. strikeout of Alec Thomas that you're watching. Well, it's the 6th Yankee strikeout. It's brought to you by Audi and the 2025 Audi Q6. Visit your local Tri-State Audi dealer today. Ben Rice leads off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He has 2 walks and a double. Also a couple of runs scored and a stolen base.
And a good defensive play. He's had an all-around good night so far.
Yeah, they gave Paul Goldschmidt his first game off after playing the first 5, and he'll be back in there tomorrow. It's opening day, the home opener for the Pittsburgh Pirates, so that game's an afternoon game. 0-2. Same thing with Wells, who started the first 5 games. They give him tonight off.
If you just take last year at this time and now, how far Austin Wells has come. You're talking about him. I mean, he was kind of working, learning the ropes, the backup catcher. He looks so comfortable now at being the starting catcher, wanting to play every single day. Good swings, off to a good start.
Suarez gets Rice. Yankees hockey jersey night is back for 2025. Come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, April 25th, when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays. First 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees hockey jersey courtesy of DKNY. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Here's Cody Bellinger, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Well, we always talk about this on this day, every single year together. But on this date in 1919, in Jacksonville, Florida, Yankee outfielder Ping Bodie had a spaghetti eating contest against Percy the ostrich. And Bodie won because Percy
passed out.
He passed out after his 11th plate of pasta.
I don't know if I can go. I love pasta, but I don't know if I can go 11 plates of it.
I would just like to know how the ostrich did it. I don't think he was handling a fork.
No, it just plate after plate, just gobbling it up and just kicked over.
You do that now, you're going to get a call from PETA.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Rightfully so.
This is way before the Joey, what's his name? Joey Chestnut?
Yes. Fly ball into left. Gurriel is there to retire Bellinger. And that'll bring up Aaron Judge, and it brings us to the Audi Electric Moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today.
In the first inning, nowhere to put Aaron Judge. A couple men on base and just a rifle shot to right center field. Never get tired of watching that guy hit.
4 ribbies for Judge, the 3-run home run, an RBI single in the 4th. Also stolen base and 2 runs scored. And a strike. What's the limit? A big plate of pasta. How many could you have?
1.5, 2.
You?
I mean, I got to have a side order. You just don't order pasta. you got to have something to go along with it.
Well, meatballs?
Oh, some meatballs, piece of fish, chicken, something.
I don't think they gave little Percy that option.
No. Percy just went to sleep.
Yeah, the way it reads, he passed out after the 11th plate of pasta. And really, who came up with the idea? Oh, let's have a spaghetti.
Yeah. How do you even know an ostrich likes pasta?
Right. No, those hot dogs are poised. That one is ripped to left field. It's a base hit. Oh, was that a blistering line drive? Judge going for 2. The throw not in time. Kind of an awkward slide into second, and he picks up a double.
Well, Aaron Judge is having one of those nights where every swing is right on. Just like you said, Michael, ripped to left field. Got out of the box quick. I mean, when you hit the ball this hard, you know you're going to get a throw to second base because it's going to come off the wall that quick.
My friend and colleague at ESPN Radio is Chris Carlin.
Yeah?
Great guy. And he just sends me a text. He said, marketing geniuses in 1919. Hey, you know what would be a great promotion? Let's get a player to eat a load of pasta. We'll do it against a contest an animal. Make it an ostrich.
You know why he passed out? Because he couldn't fly away. Because I think ostrich, they're the only bird that can't fly, right?
There you go. And he was loaded down by carbs anyway.
Yes. He ran a marathon. He just couldn't fly.
One and two. Long home run by Chisholm his last time up. He has 4. Judge has 5. Volpe has 4. Let's take a look at those 3 home runs. StatCast 3D by Google Cloud. So the longest one was Judge's. Chisholm at 387, Grisham 354. 22 on the year for the Yanks, which is the record in Major League history through 6, and also they don't have to hit a home run tomorrow in Pittsburgh. It's also the record after 7 games. This was a previous swing, an expensive one at that. His chain flew off. Wow.
Oh.
And the pendant, too, yeah.
The pin, I hope you got everything. There's a chain, and the pendant went over in the batter's box.
And that's not some cheapo chain, okay? I think there's some diamonds in that, Paul.
I got a good feeling he didn't buy that at Walmart.
Also, he's had a rough last 2 games, and if you see, he's taking off his anime stuff. Changing his lockup. Two and two. Swing and a miss. Chisholm down on strikes. No runs ahead. 1 man left. We go to the 7th. Now, Paul, you got it. I got a little bit after you, so this was a 10 and you got it.
Yeah, it was 2001, and I told you it was the most famous pitch that I remember of the year. Todd Green. President Bush came out during the World Series, threw a strike. I was lucky. For some reason, the 2001, the only year, me being with the Yankees, it just popped in my brain.
Ryan Yarbrough takes over. So Ottavino gets the final 2 outs of the 6th.
It was quite a moment, though, wasn't it, Mike?
Unbelievable. You know, the place was jammed, which I remember, and you do too. But there was an uneasiness.
Yes.
People didn't know what was happening, what was going to happen. They knew the president was going to throw out the first pitch, and you looked at all the buildings around the old Yankee Stadium, and there were snipers on the buildings. I mean, the security was suffocating, and it just was an uneasy feeling. And when he threw that pitch, the place just exhaled.
I can remember running sprints. I was out running sprints with Scott Brocious, and we kind of just stopped just to watch the pitch. And then, like you said, once the pitch was over and he was escorted off the field, then everybody just realized how cool it was, because we were all holding our breath, not knowing what was going on in the world.
And if you think about the pressure on him, everybody on the planet was watching that moment.
Yeah.
Not just baseball fans. And we found out later he was covered in Kevlar from neck to ankle in case somebody tried to do something. And for him to go to the mound and throw a strike, that was strike. It was just unbelievable. So dramatic. And of course, Jeter, before he went out on the field, said, "Better not bounce it."
That's true too. We were down in the bullpen. You had to go down to the hitting cage in the old stadium. You had to walk, 100 yards or so down to the old cage.
Three and 2 on Hampson. And he's walked. So a leadoff walk. Let's take a look at that first pitch, Paul.
Yeah, this brings back a lot of memories.
You still get goosebumps watching it now?
Yeah, I really do. It's just one of the things I'll never forget. That night, that series, and what had happened.
Strike to Herrera. Yarbrough upstairs, 1-1. Yankees holding a 6-run lead. Carrasco with his first Yankee start, went 5 1/3, gave up the 3 runs. Ottavino for 2 outs in the 6th. Now Yarbrough. Long set. Ball gets away. Hampson thought about it, but stays put.
Hampson does the right thing. When you're down 6 runs, you don't want to take any chances. You get a read, and you see that ball didn't get to the screen. Put on the brakes.
Three and 1. 9 runs on 10 hits for the Yankees. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Diamondbacks. You know, one thing you have to be careful about, Paul, and I think you'll co-sign this. The Diamondbacks are not going to go away. They're not going to say, well, we took 2 games. You know, this is they grind. They keep coming. They keep coming. So the Yankees know this too. That's why they're not going to stay that long with a reliever, they're going to go to a higher leverage guy. They don't want the Diamondbacks to creep closer.
And you got to remember, if you get something going, you know, you've got Marte on the bench. You've got some guys that can do some damage on the bench too. Grichuk on the bench, Marino on the bench. So you know, they got a lot of things they could do if they could get back into this game, and that's what you got to be careful for if you're Aaron Boone.
Leiter's been up, so he's ready at any point. Yarbrough has to face 3 batters. This is Carroll, the 3rd batter, and pitch inside. And a strike. Hampson at second, Herrera at first. Nobody out here in the 7th. And there's a base hit to right field. Hampson playing it smart. Will just go base to base, and the bases are loaded. Nobody out for the Diamondbacks.
Well, walks set up big innings, and then you get a good at bat by Carroll. A little sidearm slider that just did not get off the plate away. Able to lace it into right field.
Remember, the Diamondbacks have some really good hitters they could pull off the bench. Marte, Grichuk, Moreno, McCarthy. That's a good bench. Here's Perdomo. And a strike. One. Remember, the Diamondbacks put up a 5 spot in the 8th inning on Tuesday. Bases loaded, nobody out. Fly ball, right field and deep. Going back, Bellinger on the track, at the wall, grand slam. And just like that, the Yankee lead is down to 2.
Well, you said it, Michael. They're not going to go away. I mean, they battle. That's just the way this team is. And, you know, you give up a hit, a couple walks, and a big fly, and all of a sudden, Aaron Boone's got to tune everybody up because you're going to end up using them. Ball up in the strike zone, kind of aiming the ball at this point. Can't throw a strike. Ends up in the bleachers. Grand slam.
Smith swings and misses.
Pull the hands in. Anytime you can get the barrel of the bat on the baseball and get it elevated to right field, you've got a chance.
Ground ball. Rice will flip to Yarbrough. 1 out.
I think Aaron Boone wanted the lefty against Naylor and Smith, so it's, you know, this will be his last hitter.
Naylor 2 for 2 with a walk, stolen base, couple of runs scored. One and 0 on Naylor. Two and 0. Jalen Beeks is up. And a strike, 2-1. What's that hand motion? What's he doing there?
Just kind of reminding himself on the path of the bat. If you see the ball, especially from a lefty, to stay inside it.
Popped up on the left side. Long run for Dominguez, and he makes the play for the second out. So after allowing him to stay in to get Naylor, Boone will go to the bullpen with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. due up, but again, they have options coming off the bench. Mark Leiter Jr. will come in. The Diamondbacks have made this a game. 2 outs in the 7th. Yankees up by 2. Thanks, slow moments. Aaron Judge after his 3-run home run. Carlos Carrasco after his 5 1/3. Home run by Grisham as well. And then against the team that he started with, the Diamondbacks, a home run by Chisholm. And Perdomo said, well, let's not celebrate just yet, as he hits a grand slam here in the 7th to pull them to within 2. Mark Leiter Jr., he gave up a grand slam in the first game of this series. Rough outing for Yarbrough. So Gurriel against Leiter. Checks the swing. There's a strike. Swing and a miss, got him on the splitter. Gurriel down on strikes. But the Diamondbacks score 4 on the Perdomo grand slam. At the end of 6 1/2, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead 9-7, but will stay right here as they honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Marine Corps Corporal Richard Eustick from Butler, New Jersey, who served in Operation Desert Storm. The Yankees say, thank you, Richard, for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
Well, thank you, guys. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. You see the numbers 9-10-0, leading 7-7-0. Kelly got roughed up. Perdomo with the grand slam. Carrasco 5 1/3 in his first Yankee start. Another big night for Aaron Judge. 3-run home run, RBI single, 4 ribbies, and 2 runs scored. Here's Jalen Beeks. You have to give credit to Ryan Nelson. Kept the Yankees right there at 9 runs, allowed his team to climb back in. Dominguez skies it the other way and out of play.
Michael, you had your earphones on. You didn't hear it, but in between innings,
yeah,
a new song, "Take Me Home, Country Roads," John Denver in chorus. The whole stadium was singing. It's a big improvement. I wasn't a big Cotton Eye Joe fan.
Really?
I'm glad that it got replaced.
That's stunning.
Just didn't do it for me.
Wow. And it was played throughout your Yankee career, I think.
Yeah, well. Sometimes you just got to tell the truth.
I'm telling you, we've worked together over 20 years. First time you revealed this. You're saving stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's how you keep the relationship fresh. You okay with the YMCA? You want to throw water on that?
That's iconic. It's got to be there, I guess. Macarena came and went and gone. But, you got to switch things up.
Roller to third.
Wow.
Suarez just gets Dominguez hustling down the line. Support America's military and first responder heroes. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org.
We saw Suarez hit the grand slam the other night that it was a backbreaker. But, he's been a home run hitter, a solid defensive player. Last 7 years, he averages 155 games. It's a guy that you pretty much pencil in the lineup every single day.
There's a value to that.
Solid player.
Grounded right side. Hampson to the glove side against Volpe. There's Trent Grisham. 0-1.
Never seen Grisham. He puts the thumb, his top thumb, up the barrel of the bat, the handle of the bat, which I've never seen. I don't know what changes as he goes to swing, but I don't understand how you release the bat. I'm talking about his left hand when he puts it on. I mean, that thumb will be straight up the handle of the bat, which I've never really seen before.
And the other thumb interlocks into the whole hand. It's kind of like a golf swing.
Exactly, kind of like a golf grip. I mean, you never want to grip the bat too much in the palm of your hand. You want to use your hands, but to have the thumb up there and he hit it hard again, it's going to be safe at first base. Seems like it'd be very hard to release the bat.
That's a base hit. So 3 base hits for Grisham. Chasing back, Grisham. Ascara, 0 for 3. Still looking for his first big league hit. 0-2. Do you think you would have had to stick to it in this to hang around the minor leagues for 10 years?
You know what? I didn't really have a plan B at that point. And,
right.
If you love the game of baseball, you always have the hope that this day's going to come. But, I was lucky. I had a constant kind of progression where it got closer and closer. But, you hear these stories, and believe me, it's not easy to do, to keep the confidence within yourself that somehow, some way, things are going to change and I'm going to get an opportunity to play in the major leagues.
And it wasn't like he was in an affiliated minor league. I mean, he was playing in independent ball after the Orioles released him and still hung in there. I can't see you as an Uber driver because you'd probably get a 2.5 rating, something like that.
No, I'm not. I don't like driving anyway. So, when I'm driving myself, I'm bored. What am I going to do if I got to drive somebody else, huh?
2-2.
Pick you up tomorrow? I'd have to go to Pittsburgh, wouldn't I?
Yep. I had an Uber driver today. The best.
Really?
Oh, just great. Great driver. Didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word. I was just going to say had a good conversation.
I'm a fan of not saying a word.
It's funny because a lot of times on the way home, I don't talk because, you know what, we've talked long enough. You got to let things rest a little bit, right? You talk all day. You got a radio thing too.
That's right.
By the time this game's over, you're out of words.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll get on the plane tonight and
don't talk.
You don't even know I'm there. Yeah.
Is that right?
No.
Somehow I don't believe that.
No, I don't. I mean, you know who talks a lot on the plane? Our producer, Troy Benjamin.
Really?
Drives Susan Waldman nuts.
Troy's got good stories, though.
He does, but Susan says he's loud.
Oh.
I think he's delightful, but what are you going to do? 2-2. Foul back. The long wait is over. He has a major league hit. And he's going for extra bases. It's a double. They'll get him that ball. Oh, is he feeling it? Come on, he can smile now.
Well, he's getting a standing ovation, and you know what, from the bench and from the crowd also. You know, he was at a point there where he's facing a lefty with 2 strikes and, you know, kind of get in an emergency mode, and he really turned on this ball. Just ripped it down the right field line. Now you got to put yourself back in the game. You're so excited. You don't know how many outs are. You don't even know what base you're on. So he pulled those hands in and just laced it down the right field line.
29 years old, drafted by the Orioles in 2017. He's been waiting to exhale. There you go. What a great moment. That's pretty good hitting, keeping the hands in like that.
Well, I tell you what, he pulled him in because he had seen some breaking balls away from a lefty. So sometimes the emotion takes over, Michael. You just can't act like you've been there before because you haven't. Now you're standing on second base after your first career hit and a double.
Very cool. So Paul Goldschmidt is pinch hitting for Cabrera. They will intentionally walk Goldschmidt, and they'll go lefty-lefty against Rice.
That's a good pinch hit, Michael. You just come off the bench and you don't have to see it. You just walk to first base. It's kind of nice. But you know what, pitch hitting, I've noticed over the past, I don't know, 5-10 years, has gotten much better. And I think it has to do with the facilities right down the, you know, from the dugouts. You can hit off machines and stay loose. In the old days, you're hitting off a tee. It was hard.
Bases loaded for Rice. There's a strike. Oh, 2.
A lot of off-speed stuff now, and I think he's going to have to show the league that he's able to, you know, gear it down, cover the curveball, the changeup. You've seen a curveball and a changeup in this at bat, even with bases loaded. They're not going to give in and give him a fastball. He's shown that he can catch up to anybody.
Still 0-2. Two runs scored today for Rice. Couple of walks, double, and he grounded to third. 1-2. Battling. Third pitcher by the Diamondbacks. Merrill Kelly started. Ryan Nelson in relief. Now Jalen Beeks. Grisham at third, Escar at second. Goldschmidt at first. Breaking ball misses inside. They call that one a cutter.
Now they call it anything but a fastball. You've seen in this count, everything has been off speed.
Swing and a miss, got him on the change. Big strikeout for Beeks, so the Yankees strand 3. We'll go to the 8th. Time for the optimum don't take slow for an answer replay. Escar didn't take no in his career.
It's such a cool story. I mean, we've talked about how it happened, but you know what? You only get one opportunity to get your first hit in the major leagues, and that's it. Number 1.
Really neat moment. Now back behind the plate, Hyundai scoreboard. Yankees lead by 2. Somebody jogging in from the Diamondbacks bullpen. No number on the back, so part of the support staff. That one is driven to right field. Right there is Bellinger to retire Suarez. Peraza will take over at third. Goldschmidt at first. So Rice is out and Cabrera is out. There's Alec Thomas. And a strike from Leiter. Foul ball, 0-2. Weaver heating up. He could not hold up. He kind of waves through it, so Thomas down on strikes.
Again, unlike the other night, Leiter's been able to get ahead of some hitters today. And when you get ahead of the hitters, then that curveball and the split finger are swing and miss pitches for him.
So Marte is going to pinch hit for Hampson. So you might have a day off and think you have a day off, but then if you do enter the game, it's going to be in a high leverage situation. So there's a lot of pressure. You didn't have a day off.
Yeah, the best days off are when you have a blowout, and then you can really relax and know that you're not going to be part of the game. But anytime that you're in a close game, obviously, Marte, you want to swing the bat.
That one is looped into left field, and that's going to dunk in for a base hit. Will Boone go to Weaver for a 4-out save? And looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Didn't want to do it the other night, but wants to nail this one down. After having a 9-3 lead, and now it's become a little bit of a nail biter. So Luke Weaver will come on. He'll face the tying run here in the 8th inning. Yankees up by 2. Luke Weaver is warming up. He's appeared in 1 game so far. There is some, I wouldn't say concern, but the Yankees have noted that his velocity is down from what it was at the end of last year. And when Aaron Boone was asked about it, he said, well, his velocity is about what it was at this time last year. So it's a build-up process. But when he did come in against the Brewers, he didn't allow a run. So there's a big spot for him right here. He was so important for the Yankees. After they took the closer role away from Clay Holmes, he stepped in and really did the job.
Yeah, I just wonder if there was ever a conversation. Obviously, when you got an opportunity to get Williams, one of the premier closers in the game, you do it. But what Luke Weaver did last year, I mean, that's it was impressive. He was really, really good.
Gabriel Moreno pinch hitting for Herrera. And there's a strike. 94 miles an hour. That's fine. Look what he did in those high leverage games with 1.03 ERA. He pitched very well in the postseason. Still 0-2. Fouled away. Moreno pinch hitting. He's the tying run. Yankees lead 9-7. Diamondbacks scored 4 in the 7th inning on the grand slam by Perdomo. They're trying for the sweep. Shelby Miller is up. Yankees looking to salvage the final game and finish the opening homestand 4-2. Fastball plenty good right there at 96.
Yeah, he kind of humped up and tried to get one off of the outside corner. He hung a changeup earlier in the count. Looks like he'll probably try to set that pitch up again. Just try to get it down.
Foul right back here.
Again, he had set that changeup up, but was not able to get it down where you can get a swing and a miss. Ball up in the strike zone.
Ground ball, second base, Chisholm. And Weaver gets the final out of the 8th. He's got 3 more to go. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees 9, Arizona 7. Well, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. We go back to the 5th inning. Ben Rice playing first base. Steps on the bag 1. Perfect throw to second for 2. A nice 3, 6. Double play on the T-Mobile coverage cam. Yankees have 3 outs to go to try to nail this one down. They lead 9-7 on the Hyundai scoreboard. 9-12-0. Leading 7-8-0. Shelby Miller. Last year with Detroit, 51 games, 6-8. Doesn't walk many. Struck out 49 and 55 2/3. Marte takes over at second. And Bellinger swings through. Moreno behind the plate. Have to send out happy birthday wishes, Paul, for Jojo Graziano. He's 21 years old, big Yankee fan from the Bronx.
It's a big birthday in life. You know that when you turn 21?
That's right. You can now walk in the stands. Or the dugout, one of the establishments under the elevated train. One, two. Chases the fastball upstairs. Bellinger down on strikes.
That four-seam fastball just kind of away. You see the front hip going a little bit. Just like almost looking inside. Another went away.
Another big night for Aaron Judge. 3 for 4, 4 ribbies. He's a triple away from the cycle. If you ever really want to rattle James Smythe, just say that phrase.
Yeah.
Triple away from the cycle. He hates it.
Why? Because it never happened, or
because
brought it up?
It always seems to be you're a triple away from the cycle.
Yeah.
1-1.
You know what? If I'm here and I'm thinking he's a triple away from this, I'd rather see a 2-home run night if I'm watching Aaron Judge, right?
And I think he'd rather have a second home run. Two and one. Hit sharply to short. Perdomo will get Judge. That'll bring up Josh Chisholm, and this is in the 4th inning.
Yeah, that was a bomb, too. I think he knew he got that one. Earlier in the bat, you remember, he just hooked one foul. Squared one up there.
He fixed the chain.
Yeah. Or he got another one. Got an A and a B hanging in his locker, I'm sure, right?
One and 0. Weaver got the final out of the 8th. He needs 3 more, and he'll face the top of the order: Carroll, Perdomo, and Smith. At 9-3, going into the 7th, you're not thinking about having to use your high leverage guys and use your closer, but that's exactly what this game has turned into.
If you think about it, you would probably want to get Weaver in the game tonight at some point anyway. He hadn't thrown since, what, opening day, right?
Two and one.
I don't know if you'd like to get him in for 4 outs. Or...
Yeah, they want to stay away from that, especially early in the season, but you also want to win this game. It's kind of like a battle, an internal battle. Well, while you were enjoying a commercial, big scene here in the booth as Joey Passanti,
Cotton Eye Joe,
who actually played Cotton Eye Joe on the scoreboard all those years, he came in and he took it to O'Neill.
I got beat up by Cotton Eye Joe.
And you had nothing to say. He was red hot.
Oh, it was funny.
Said his phone blew up. Why doesn't O'Neill like you?
No.
I told you it was a bold statement by you.
No, he was a great dancer. He did a great dance. It was just a song.
And the best part was he came in here holding the Cotton Eye Joe hat.
In costume.
Straw hat,
That's
yeah.
right. I wouldn't have recognized him without his hat on. Right? Now I knew exactly who came. Cotton Eye Joe came flying into the booth.
Three and two on Chisholm. Upcoming schedule brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Yankees fly to Pittsburgh tonight. They'll start a series tomorrow at 4:12, and then on to Detroit on Monday. San Francisco back at the stadium starting next Friday. And Chisholm works a walk with 2 outs. Well, fans after the final out get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from the manager. Plus, a look ahead to the series at the Pirates. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. So that brings up Dominguez. 2 for 4, batting from the left side against the righty Miller. Runner goes, pitches up and away, throw to second, not in time. So it is difficult to steal against Moreno, but Chisholm just did it.
Well, we saw a lot of this last year. Jazz has good speed. And I'm excited to see with the Yankees when they start running, 40 stolen bases last year.
And that is Chisholm's 100th career stolen base.
Oh, a little push off there.
Yeah.
You can see he pushed him off the base, right? Try anything out there, Michael.
Well, he's clearly safe, but you'll see he slides over the bag. His foot's still on the bag, but then Perdomo pushes the foot off.
It's all fun and games now, but you saw them both screaming at the umpire. Right?
So he explains to Torey Lovello that Chisholm didn't overslide the bag, that he was pushed off. So they were not going to allow it. There'll be no challenge. Yankees looking for an insurance run here. And a strike to Dominguez. Strike 2. Chisholm off second with 2 outs. Yankees up 9-7, bottom of the 8th. Anthony Volpe on deck. Swing and a miss. Got the fastball by him. 9th inning coming up. Luke Weaver tries to get the final 3 outs. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by FanDuel. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. By Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. And by Hyundai, with a brand new Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. Grand Central looking sharp on this Thursday evening. Yankees lead 9-7. Top of the order coming up for the Diamondbacks against Luke Weaver, who is the Yankee closer, with Devin Williams away from the team on paternity leave. Corbin Carroll fouls it off. Arizona with a 3-game winning streak, looking to make it 4. Yankees want to snap that. One and one.
Said earlier in the game, Michael, that they don't give up. And in that 3-game winning streak, 2 of them were huge comebacks. The last one in Chicago, and then the big grand slam to take the lead late here in New York.
Nasty changeup, 1-2.
Yeah, last inning, he could not get that changeup down, and that's where he wants it. Plays off that fastball well when it's down in the strike zone.
Popped up. Peraza giving it a look, but it's in seats. Two. "31 of his 62 appearances last season were 4 or more outs. This would be a 4-out save. Got the final out of the 8th. Goldschmidt will beat Carroll to the bag. Well, fans, the Yes app has moved to the Gotham Sports app, your new home for streaming live Yankees, Nets, and more, free with an eligible TV provider subscription. Download the Gotham Sports app now and sign in with your existing Yes app username and password, or visit GothamSports.com to get streaming. One down. Here is Perdomo. Grand slam his last time up. And a strike.
Well, we've had a beautiful night, Michael, so far. It's warmer, everything. But when I woke up this morning, it was drizzling gray, and that was Gotham. Huh? That's what it's all about, right?
You were looking for Batman.
That's right.
And Dominguez retires Perdomo. That's time for the Allstate Good Hands, and this is Volpe making a nice play, ranging into the outfield. Good hands indeed. So here's Pavin Smith, last chance for the Diamondbacks to keep this alive. Swings through the changeup, 0-1. Nine-7 Yankees. One and one. Dangerous Josh Naylor is on deck. Got power. You don't want Pavin Smith to get on. We'll end it right here. Oh, strike. Weaver had his struggles when he was a starter, but he has found his calling. He is a really effective high leverage reliever for the Yanks. Yankees salvage the final game of this 3-game set. They win 9-7. Weaver gets the save, and it's a good opening set, going 4-2 in 2 3-game sets. They sweep the Brewers, and they take one against the Diamondbacks, and now head out to the road.
Well, they salvaged this one, and it was good. I mean, there's some feel-good stories in this. One of them right there, Escara gets his first big league hit, put that game ball in his back pocket. Aaron Judge got him off to a great start with a big home run in the first inning. And also Carrasco gave them a good opportunity to win. There's some stories out there, but the big story is the Yankees 4-2 to start the season before Michael and the crew head to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh for 3, and then Detroit for 3 after that. Escara still in his fields. His first big league hit, it's a double, and he caught a win. We'll be back.